Hi, and thank you for taking the time to watch my social media marketing plan for Rosemary's Yarn and Gift Shop. The gift shop is located in Wyndham and has been open for several years. The gift shop is a unique specialty store. Like I said, it is located in Wyndham, but it did move. It was originally in Cornish, which is when I had discovered it about 7 years ago. It's been owned and operated by Rosemary and Heward Libby since they decided to open the store. And they actually, this isn't part of the slideshow, but they actually started opening the store after they lost their son in the military. It was a way for Rosemary to kind of cope with the loss of that. So the story is sad, but the amount of effort that they put into the store and the amount of dedication they have to the store is really, really special. She does have a very large selection of yarn, specialty yarns, hard to find brands, and just some very unique patterns, accessories, and just all kinds of different things that you couldn't even imagine. There is also a gift shop, though, which includes gifts that are created by local artisans, and they're not all yarn related, so they are definitely just different gifty type of items, and they're very, very unique. Like I said, Rosemary does do classes. She creates her own patterns. She helps customers when they come in. So you have a personal attention to the store that you don't get when you go into a lot of other stores. I did work for a while at AC Moore, and I would try to help customers in the yarn department just because I do knit. But she actually can create and fix things. So I was there when a customer brought in something that they needed to have fixed, and she took the time, she took the project completely away from the customer and said, she was going to fix it for them. So she gives you a personal touch that the big box stores and just even some of the other specialty yarn stores in the state don't do. So you do get a level of personal experience when you go into the store. She does have a couple of community programs, including Gathering Hands, which is knitted and crocheted bears for people with cancer. They deliver them to local hospitals, and there's the Operation Maine Military Family. So you can bring in and donate hats, gloves, mittens, whatever you've knitted, and it gets donated to military families that are in the area and in need. So she tries to keep a good community tie. Social media, she did create her own website, www.main-crafts.com. The site has been up and running for a very, very long time, and it has a lot of information that allows you to buy the yarn right on the website. It allows you to see the class schedule. It gives you updates. It gives you her newsletter. So it's very, very full of information. She is present on Facebook, and the newsletter is available there as well. So that's definitely a good thing for her to have. She's not as active on Twitter. Just didn't find that there was a lot of following on Twitter for her, so she didn't spend a lot of time. There is some there, but not a lot. The SWOT analysis includes a lot of strengths. She has a very, very wide variety of products. Her knowledge is immense. Like I said, she does create her own patterns, so she has a lot of knowledge, and she is able to be there at the store every single day. The store is also their home, so you never have to worry about trying to find her or somebody else really working there that may not know the answer. It's either her or her husband, and they both are extremely knowledgeable. So if you can't find something, she will make sure that she can either find it or order it for you, so you never have to worry about finding something or just not getting what you need. The weaknesses, the store can seem kind of overwhelming. There's a lot of product in there it's a bigger space than it used to be, but it's still a small space considering the number of product that is there. And if the store gets really, really busy, you may not be able to get her or get her advice, especially if you're a novice trying to start. But if you can go at a time when it's a little quieter, it can be a lot easier. She's located in a pretty convenient location in terms of the fact that it's on 302 in Wyndham. However, she's not near anything else. So she's not near the mall. She's not in a high traffic area in terms of stores, but she is on the way to the lakes area. So if someone wants to knit while they're sitting at the lake, they have a great place to stop. There's a lot of opportunities. The knitting trend right now is still really high between younger adults. So with her social media, if she takes the time to increase the social media presence, the younger adults that are using social media may find the store and may be able to go in and actually drum up a little bit more business. A lot of individuals that are kind of novice knitters and may not want to spend a lot of money because she does have a lot of higher end yarn, they may find the store to be a little bit too much. But if she moved the location closer to the mall or actually in the mall, it may be a little bit better for her. However, I know a lot of her customers, myself included, enjoy the fact that she's not in the mall, because then they would be full of a lot of individuals and we would just never have that personal experience. As far as threats, obviously the chain stores that sell yarn, for individuals that don't want to spend a lot of money on yarn or aren't really into it but just want to try it, they may want to just go to Walmart or AC Moore or Michael's to just buy straight yarn. They may not want that. They may not want the overwhelming amount of yarn that's available. If people don't have a lot of free time and they don't want to learn a new hobby, they're not going to pick up knitting or crocheting. It is something you have to kind of dedicate time to. Not a lot, but you do need to learn how to do it. But it is still popular, but it may obviously fade again as it did for a while. That would obviously decrease the amount of traffic. As far as listening goes, still a majority of sales are made in brick and mortar stores for yarn. People like to go and see the yarn, touch the yarn, and actually get a feel for it before they're using it. I know that I myself do that. Sometimes I will order it after I've already seen it in the store because I've already had a chance to look at it. But for the most part, you're going to want to be there and actually look at it and get a feel for the type of yarn and just to see what it feels like while it's there. There are a lot of craft fairs that she's been able to bring her products to and be able to display them. And of course, the Gathering Hands and Maine military family programs have been a way for her to keep that community tie. Small Business Saturday is a huge day for her. She loves that day and does a lot for it. She also has a Super Bowl knitting day. So for individuals that don't want to sit and watch the game but feel like they have nothing else to do in their own home if somebody else is watching it, she brings in snacks. Other people bring in baked goods, and they have all kinds of chairs out, and you can just sit and knit for the day. It's a good way for her to be able to connect with the community as well. There's a few other stores, knitting stores. Halcyon Yarn, it's a bigger store, but it's almost like a box store for yarn. It's a little bit more, it's a bigger store in terms of volume, space, but not in volume. She definitely has more volume, but you don't have that personal experience. And Corner Knitters is a very small yarn store in Standish, and you don't have that personal feel. You have almost a, if you're not one of them, you're not part of their community. I enjoy the store, but it's definitely doesn't have the same feel as Rosemary's. Target Markets, like I said, is the younger crowd now. It's becoming way more popular. There are still a lot of older women that do knit, but in terms of social media, the 18 to 30 crowd is huge right now with knitting, and it's a great way for her to keep up with it. I had a lot of recommendations, including increasing her usage of Facebook, starting a video blog, starting a podcast, trying to get people involved. And of course, with a video blog, it's even greater because then you can actually show people how to create different stitches or how to fix your stitches when you've messed up. It's a really, really, there's a lot of things that she could use for that. Also, obviously, to check to see how that is the social media is increasing. It's important for them to be able to check that on a regular basis to make sure that it's actually drumming up enough business and not being just a hindrance to them, because where they are the only two that are running the store, they don't have as much time as a lot of other companies that may have 3 or 4 employees. So they need to make sure that their time is used extremely wisely. My publishing calendar, I'm obviously not going to go through the entire calendar, but it's full of a lot of information, weekly Facebook updates, a podcast every month, video blog every month, and then obviously sales, especially this time of the year where you're looking at the August calendar right now. September gets a little bit heavier, trying to start up a little bit more sales, especially because if you think about knitted projects for Christmas, you do need to start them a little bit earlier. October gets a little bit heavy as well. Again, trying to get closer to Christmas. And November slows down a little bit. The timing isn't going to be as great in terms of finishing projects. December, I did a lot for December in terms of like weekly sales. At that point, most things that she does sell are gift certificates for people who don't know what else to get for their loved ones. But a weekly sale and a raffle, I thought would be a really great idea to drum up a lot of business right towards the end of the year. But I also wanted to make sure that January was really busy too, because that's obviously when the time starts to slow down for most businesses. In this case, it's winter here. We have nothing else to do in terms of. There's a lot of hobbies, but this is a great indoor hobby for people to pick up. So I did go a little bit heavier on January to keep the business up and to get new knitters in there and get new people to purchase things. February again was kind of the same, did a lot, and to also kind of check in on your older community members that may be bored, maybe they don't know how to knit, maybe they just want a knitting partner. So I came up with a lot of ideas for that as well. So in conclusion, she's been using a lot of social media, but there's definitely opportunities for improvement, including increasing her Facebook posts, the Twitter presence, and the video and podcast I think would be a great addition for her. So I hope you enjoyed my video. Sorry it was a little long, but there was a lot of information and it's a great store. Thanks.